Well, cockatoos joining in the party. Here we go, folks. We're all set to go tonight. We're going to do something a little bit different tonight, a little bit of a break from some of our recent streams. And this is QR5 coming to you live. Oh, we've got to have a look at our background because we put a lot of. We need to just show you. Space is a little later because we're going to have a look at one being set up right now. So there's the chat overlay in the side there, and we have our second camera tonight. This is something new that I'm learning how to do, and we will bring that up in the what is it? We'll hide the chat overlay for now, and you can see down here in the other window. What we'll do is we'll be flipping between the different windows here, and we've got the big camera on. We can just flip that over and take it down in the little chat window on the side. So what we've got tonight is the first thing we need is to make sure our base is level. So we need one of these things. So we're going to make sure our base is nice and level, because when we set up our telescope and we let's see if you can see there. Hello. So we always do a spirit level here, make sure it's nice and level, because once we set up the tracking on the telescope, we want it to be kind of able to know where it is and where it needs to be, and that requires a bit of precision. So what we have is some nuts and bolts here, which we're going to show you. So tonight, later on, we've got our DSLR camera, we've got some lenses here, and we're going to put the camera on the telescope and see if we can bring you some images of Saturn. So that's really quite amazing if you've never seen it before. We're a little bit unfortunate because Saturn is around the other side of the solar system at the moment, so it's not. When it's in opposition is when it's on the side closest to Earth, but it's around the other side at the moment. So it's a little bit further away, so it's not as good as it can be, but it's very well placed in the sky now. Up about there, there's a little bit of light cloud coming through. Hopefully we won't get the hailstorm that we had last night at 9:30. So otherwise I'll be running for the tap, and I do have one on standby. So yeah, what we're firstly going to do is see down here, we're going to put this together. So I thought you'd be interested in seeing how to set it up. So you've got to get the base set up, get the telescope in there, then you've got to do you've got to line the mirrors with a laser pointer to make sure it's all nicely shaped, because it is a pack up and put away telescope, so sometimes the mirrors bounce around a little bit. Certainly. And we've got a battery and a drive to mount. This one is an alt-az mount, so azimuth as in it goes around the horizon, and altitude as in it goes across the sky. So that's what we're going to be doing. There are different types of mounts called equatorial mounts, which kind of point, one of the axis points at the south celestial pole and then follows the stars around as they go. That's not what we're doing here tonight. This is an alt-az kind of setup. So I'm going to just talk to you while I set it up. So we're going to need a couple of these screws here to they used to have little rubber retainers on them, but they're kind of fallen off a bit. So first is getting the base set up. This is a Dobsonian mount with a sky sync on a it's a Skywatcher with a motorized mount to track. So okay, so here we go. We're going to get this set up. This will take about 10-15 minutes. So the first one here is one that's got the motor drive on the side for the altitude, and then the azimuth motor is down there, which you can probably see. Now what you've got to do is get this set up correctly so that all these little doovies line up in the right holes. Sometimes it takes you just a few minutes to work out which is the correct way to orientate everything. And, usually when I haven't done it for a while, it takes me a few minutes to work it out. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2. I think it goes that way. That way. Because it only goes one way, so, and it's got the back pieces usually. If you can work out which one's the back piece first, it makes it easier to. Goes across there. This, yes, and it's this way. Oh yeah, this one here. So you've got to work out which. So you see these two are the straight back, and those three are the ones for that side. These three are the ones for this side. So it's a case of putting the screw like this, and you're just gonna, tighten them all up first. You kind of just get them in the right place, make sure they're lining up. Get in there. Now the battery on my Canon lasts for a little while, but putting it out live off the chip into a stream does flatten the battery pretty quickly. So I've got a spare battery ready to go. I need to do that. Just have a look here on the string. It seems to be going okay there. Cool. Right, so another one in the back here. So good engineering principle. 3 points of secure. You can see that's quite solid. Needs to be, because we're going to put a 30-kilogram telescope on it. I think it's about 30. Another 3 here. Over the back. So we get the other one now. Actually, I'll put this one. I'll put this one in first. This one goes in here, like so. And we'll put some down there, like this. Okay. Sometimes it's a bit hard to see where all the holes are. Let's get them in the right spot. Kind of pretty tightly lined. What's going on here? That's right. There. So once you get one in, you kind of don't tighten it all the way up until you've kind of got the other one seated as well. And then you go here. There's a bit out of alignment there. There we go. Takes a little bit of effort sometimes to get them in the right place. I can brace it from the other side. So here, another two to go through the side now. Just to, where is he? Oh, sorry, this one's already in there. He goes in there. That one. Nice and tight. So this kind of rotates until you get the motor all set up. Then we have one final one. Yeah. Goes on the side here. So sometimes it's easier putting the center one in first. Just get them in the right place. Okay, now, so this is the mount starting to take shape. So Dobsonian mounts are quite interesting. So there's a guy called John Dobson, who's well known for the Dobsonian mount. So if you think about it like a medieval cannon, where you point it kind of, you kind of point it up and down, and then around like this. So you know this direction, and then turn it this way. So very similar principle to medieval cannon. John Dobson was a fantastic guy. He passed away about 10 years ago. He was well known as the sidewalk astronomer, they called him. He was plied the streets of San Francisco, introducing space and astronomy to people just walking past in the footpath. Even with all those bright lights, he loved showing them the moon. How solid that is, nice and solid. So that's the mount pretty much done now. Got some lifting handles on the side, places to put our lens. So yeah, John Dobson was called the sidewalk astronomer. He passed away about 10 years ago. Amazing guy. Really brought astronomy to the people. And this is, you know, see my backside there. This is the telescope. This is the telescope in the box here. We've got, so let's just check our chat window. See if we've got any chats yet. Do we have any chats? No, oh, that's in the other stream. Just go back to the main stream. Check in there. Have any chats? Okay, so we'll flip back to the telescope. Yeah, so John Dobson prided himself on making astronomy available to the people, and he had this his passion, anyone should be able to build a telescope out of junk. That was his famous saying. So, well, there's a lot of very fancy telescopes in the world. The Dobsonian one is the simplest, and in terms of giving you the maximum light gathering capacity for price, it's very good. Okay, so this one is a big one though. So we'll pull it out of here. Then we'll get it aligned, and we'll might need to adjust some weights as well, so we'll get it nicely balanced. Alrighty. Now this only goes in one way. You see, this part here is what drives the altitude, and this one down here is what drives the azimuth. So what we need to do is usually put it in from this side. So we're going to get the right bit here. Here we go. Just gonna slide down in there, like so. There. Now, there's a pin that goes through here, but it will kind of sit there while I grab it without falling out. So, you need the special one, special long one, which is in here. Where is he? It's that one and this one. So, there's two special pins. This one goes on the side, this one goes in here. So I've got to get him up here, like so. Put this one in here, screw in. Sometimes it takes this one seated correctly because it's quite an important one. There we go. And I've got him. That's that one there. This one goes on the other side. Sure. Yeah, oh yeah, got that. See that nicely. It's going beautifully. Not sure how long that camera is going to last on that battery. I mainly wanted just to show you the process of setting up the telescope first of all, because it can be an interesting process. Now, so this is what this is really is a telescope. It's a telescoping telescope, because what we do is we undo these ones here on the side, like this, and like this, and we, there we go. And then it really does live up to its true nature. It's a little bit fiddly to get it started, but get the come on. That's still too tight. Sometimes it's easier to do it like this. You just pull it up like this till it clicks into place. Now, part of the trick here is to, if you can still see me there in the other camera, is to make sure it just clicks into the right place, and then you tighten up, because this needs to be kind of in the right angle. Then we'll adjust the mirrors to get it going. Okay, so what we do here is just make sure it's square. Then in here we've I'm sure we can see. Oh yeah, I've got my background on there, so you can actually see. So we might just tilt this up a little bit now, like this, and just show you. It's quite a beast. It's I love it. It's got some great light gathering. once you get the mirrors aligned and everything, so all telescopes have a dust cover. So this is the dust cover, and if you have a look, you might just give you a little. This dust cover will go over here for now. You might just grab the tripod, show you inside. So in here we have the secondary mirror right there. That comes up. Sorry, that's the primary mirror. Beg your pardon. And then that goes up to the secondary mirror up here. You can probably see in there. And then, where do we go? Telescope's always upside down and back to front. So, there's the secondary mirror. Oh, you can see the secondary mirror in there. And then the secondary mirror reflects the light out through the side here. Right? So that's how the light, that's why it's called a reflecting telescope. So refracting telescope, the light comes in one end and goes out the other, and you're standing behind it. This one, the light comes in through the top, hits the secondary out through here. So what we're going to be doing later is putting our camera package on the side here. So the first thing we have to do though, and this is always good to do before it gets dark, is to do the alignment of the mirrors. So that's always very important. So it's probably going to be a little bit tricky to show you all that, but what I'll do my best to explain it to you. We also have a spotting scope. This is the spotting scope. And it goes. So what you have to do is kind of, when you look through here, you can get the general patch of the sky and line it up so that you tune that in once you've done your alignment. And it's good for quick and easy kind of, that just goes on here like this, just sliding in there, and then you can adjust the spotting scope so that it's in the same spot as the big mirror and the image that comes out through here. Okay, how long are we going for time? It's 8:30. So that's the Dobby. Now what we have here is this is the laser aligner. So what we do here, you should never actually look at the laser, of course, but I can kind of maybe show it to you by doing this. All right, so yep, so there's a laser in here that comes out through and comes down here, bounces off the secondary, down off the primary, back off the secondary and out through the hole. And what it should do is line up here so that all your mirrors are perfectly collimated, we call it. So they line up beautifully. Right? So, but it's not gonna fit in here. So what we need to do is put this this fella in there. Where is he? This one here, I think. What we usually use. So this one here is a couple of converters. So our camera will kind of go in there later. But at the moment, we're going to put the laser in there for now. So that goes on here like this. There's a couple of screws to make sure it's nice and tight and flat, flush with the telescope, because if it's not, it'll point our laser in the wrong direction. Now what we've got here is if we go in there like that, and I'll turn it around so you can see. Now this is never 100% perfect, but you've probably got to get it as close as you can, because the better you get it, the better your images will be and the better your observing will be. Right? So you can see there, we've actually got this here, but you can see it's a bit off to the top. When we look in here now, you can see in here, we've got the dot is not quite on the center of the mirror. So what we've got, is that a secondary problem or is that a primary problem? So what we initially need to do is make sure that it's hitting the mirror for the first time in the center. So what we've got to do is get our magic little Oh, you can see here too on the mirror up here, I think, that there are two dots there, right? So that's out of alignment. Which one is those dots very close together, so that the laser's coming down, hitting the bottom, coming back up. And then when they're both in alignment and in the center of the secondary and in the center of the primary, that's where we want them to be. Okay, so let's just think the secondary is the one we'll go for first. So get this little Allen key up here, and we careful not to shine the laser directly in our eyes. And we kind of move the, see if I can get this right for you. You can probably see that down there. You can see that okay. So what we need to do is, you see the laser down the bottom there? Just got to get in the center of that mirror, okay? So be careful. That's actually not too far off. Oh, all right, that's actually pretty good. Just do this one here. Back him off. And we're nearly there. Now, what you can probably see now is if we look at the secondary moving now, those dots are closer together, a little bit closer, but they're a little bit out. So what we're going to do now is adjust the primary so those two dots come together. So you can just give the primary a little bit of a tweak down the bottom. It's pretty close. This axis over here is the one. Look. Where's that one coming up? It's very loose. Why is he so loose? Oh. That one's there. Yeah. Alright, most of that. It's still a bit off. Oh, that's better. And then there's a little locking pin that you then sort of drive in a little bit further so it can't move while we're tracking. And it's pretty close. It's pretty close to the middle as well. You kind of don't want it off to the side too much, otherwise you get a bit wonky. So I'll show you now in the secondary here. You see the dot in here is much tighter up there, right? So still looks a bit. I think you can see the principle there. Yeah, it's actually pretty good. I'd like it a little bit further down, but it's a little bit off center this way, I think. I'm just going to put this down. So we're nearly set up. So probably in a few minutes we might just wrap up this part of it, and we'll come back at 9 o'clock once we can find Saturn and get the camera going on the scope. The moon's out. Maybe we could have a quick look at the moon. So one of the ways of setting up your spotter scope is to go to something really bright like the moon with the main telescope, and then adjust the spotter scope in so that it's right spot on. So then when we need to find Saturn later, it's a bit easier. So that's the first thing we'll do. And then what we need to do then is set up the battery and the motor. So we'll do that. That's probably going to be a little bit boring, just me plugging a few cables in. So I might not cover that initially. But what you can see here now is that up here, you see the you can see the lasers coming out of here, and sometimes it's a little bit wobbly here, but it's going out, down, back, and up, and it's just coming a little bit off center, so it's not quite 100% perfect. I think what we might need to do is go a little bit that way to loosen up this one and tighten up that one like that. Let's see if that puts it a little bit better in the middle. Always better here. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. So what we can do now is we don't have the guiding on yet. So what we just might quickly do is swing it around to the moon and just have a quick look at the moon while we're doing that, just to make sure we're all good. And we'll take our laser out. We don't need that anymore. Turn him off. The laser is off. It's always good to put your stuff back in the same place you took it from, so that way you don't lose things. So here we go. My background's on here, but it's not really that dark in Melbourne yet. It's this dark over here. So it's still quite bright. So let's go lens caps off on the spotter. We'll put a lens in here so we can see the moon. Nice wide angle one. This is a nice wide angle lens, which is quite good for when you get started. You sort of put the wide angle on, then you zoom in a bit tighter as you go. This one here is popping in there. Focal length is another thing. Sometimes the lenses, you've got to adjust them a little bit. Now, what we usually do is go like this, find the moon in here. So here we go. We're going to align the spotter scope now. So what I usually do is find the moon in here, which is wherever it is. Oh, it's got a clothesline in the road. That's helpful. Where are we? So you can do it this way too. Pretend you're a 18th century cannon. Line it up this way and that way. We should be able to get a clear line of sight there to the moon. And then, where's that moon? Where's it? Oh, it's a tree in the background. You can see back through Where's the moon gone? Here's the moon. Not that high. Stand here somewhere. Is that moon? Oh, there it is. Oh, big flash. So you see when the big flash is there. I'll just pull this off here. I'll show you here. Click off thing here. Oh, sorry, I'll leave it. You can actually see the moon reflected in there now, and I could a minute ago. Where is it? It's pretty fine tuned. Oh, there it is. You can always see it reflecting off the crossbars. Oh, there we go. Big flash. You can probably see the moon. This is the light gathering power. See how much is lighting up my face there? Quite brightly. Oh, there he is. So that's kind of in there. So what we now do is we look at it here, see if we can get a focus. What we now do is line up this spotoscope like this. What is It's not even close. Alright, so we've just got to get this line up a little bit, and later we do a polar align to the brightest star, and when we have the tracking going. Here we go. It's starting to get a little bit dark now. Crows flying over. Oh, it's the closed one. Right, so that's there. The spotoscope's on it. The main telescope is off, which is not unsurprising. Where's this going? Now, one thing when we're looking at the moon, we'll often put a lunar filter on it because it's just so bright, it'll wax you in the face. And you actually need a lunar filter because it is actually very bright. Where is he? Where's he going? Oh, there he is. This is the frustrating bit sometimes, just getting everything lined up. Oh, really there. Usually when you get close, you can see it in the eyepiece. Pretty, and then it's just a matter of getting right on it, and then adjusting the spotoscope, and away you go. So this is probably getting a little bit boring for you, so I might tidy up here for now, and we'll come back at 9:30, and we'll have the camera on then, and so I'm just going to wrap up here. So for now, and we'll come back with the other stream in a wee while. So I'm just going to check the chats here. Click on the chat message. Display it on the screen. I don't think we have any chats. Huh. Yeah, so we've got one viewer. So big shout out. Thanks for joining, Super Viewer. And So we'll be not looking at that clothesline. We'll be looking at the moon. The moon's kind of heading for the clothesline. We might have to wait for it to go past later. But Saturn will be up about here, and we'll be have a look up there. So so that was a little run through of how you actually set up the telescope. So we'll just flip the cameras back here. Yeah, so that was a bit of I should put my light on here so that I can normally astronomers kind of work in the dark to keep their gee, that's right. Astronomers usually work in the dark a lot to keep our night vision up. So this doesn't help with my night vision, but it's not quite dark yet, so that's quite okay. So I once stayed in an observatory where in the hotel room they had red lights even in the fridge when you came in for a rest break from being out under the stars in one of the darkest night skies in the world. At New Mexico skies there. It was amazing, and yeah, even the fridges had red lights in them to keep your night vision. Okay, so that was a bit funny. So I always remember that. It was a very great trip, that one. So anyway, tonight what we've done is giving you a bit of a run through of how to set up a Dobsonian 14-inch skyrusher telescope. I'm probably going to the connecting of all the cables and everything a little bit boring, so we'll drop off now, and we'll come back at about 9:30. Hopefully, we should have enough light to have a look at Saturn and see if I can get the tracking going and see if we can track it for a little while. And if not, we'll have a quick look at it anyway because I'll have the spotter scope lined up then, and we'll be able to get straight on it. So anyway, thanks for joining us. Or if you're watching this later, thanks for watching, and make sure you like and subscribe and share the video if you can. It's always great to do that. Yeah, so I'm going to go to the outro, and I'll be back in about 45 minutes, I think, and we'll see if we can do a live broadcast of Saturn. Thank you.